Yeah, Troy, I normally, 10 days before the time, I'd take my Guineas horses and I'd just let them run along, enjoy themselves on the grass, you know, then you don't have to, that is sort of the final prep for the classics. You don't have to do that much in between. So this morning, you know, I took Cosmic Highway and I just let him breeze along 800 meters up the straight on his own. He doesn't need more than that. You know, his goal has always been the Guineas. He came back from Durban. He had one run in the Matchroom Stakes, which was a very, very good run behind Vaughan Marshall's top horse. He ran up to him, needed the run. Vaughan's horse came out and won again on Saturday. So that was a very encouraging run. Then I ran him in the Concord Del Selangor Cup. He had to make up a lot of ground. Keegan discussed it with me. It was maybe a little bit too far out of his ground. But I said, Keegan, don't panic, but that's not his goal. You know, he made up ground very quickly, and he got to Snaith's horse. And I thought the last 100 meters, 50 meters, he was labouring, but I knew that I didn't have him 100% stripped. I said to Keegan, the Guineas is not today, the Guineas in 4 weeks' time. So I just let him blow 800 meters, and you see he's got one hell of a turn of foot. We've drawn 13, and we'll come down to how the race scratches down. But long running, and you know, like any race, you know, you're drawn badly, you just hope that it's a good galloping pace all the way. But he's got the class, he's got, you know, he's as I said, he's got a hell of a turn of foot, and I was pleased with his breeze up this morning. WATERBERRY Lane, he's a tough campaigner. He won that Group 2, Grade 2 on July Day, and then I ran him on Gold Cup Day and Champions Day. He rather rough race, you know, in the early stages. Those 2-year-old races can be rough. He was completely lost on the top of the straight, and I thought he wasn't going to run in the first 6, 7. And he flew up to run 14 and got beat about a length and a half by Good Travel, also a smart horse. Put him away, and I went a different route this year. I kept him in the handicaps, getting his weight for age allowance, and he had one run. It was very good. I thought he'd need that. He won. He came out his next run. He'd gone up on the weights and he won again, which impressed me. And he's a horse that's just grown the correct way. He's grown into a beautiful horse. You know, as I said to you early on, when you buy a horse, obviously a nice type of horse, you've got to like the horse, but some horses just grow, just continue to improve physically. So he's gone about his business the right way. Very happy with his gallop this morning. He came from the 1400 meter mark, horse to lead him, and he galloped with the horse that's also nominated for the Guineas, was called Give Me a Star. Nevertheless, I was happy with the gallop. I think that will just bring him on just where I want to have him next week. Give Me a Star is a horse that I've entered provisionally, but I don't think he will run in the Guineas. He's more a 1800, 2000 meter horse. Also, it's won two out of 3, bred to stay on. Nice type of horse. So, but he galloped well. Needed the gallop. He had a little setback after his last run, Give Me a Star. But WATERBERRY Lane, he'll be ready for the Guineas next week. Once again, he just need a lot of luck. The runs to his 111 rating, he's got to be a huge runner. Mr. Master Start, I also entered for the Guineas. He's going to love the long running. He's off the 86. We galloped him this morning. I think he needed that gallop. I said after his last day, he had a bit of a setback. He was off for a couple of days. He was blowing today, but that'll bring him on tremendously. I'll discuss it with my owners over the next 48 hours. The acceptances only go in on Monday, but at this stage he is an entry for the Guineas. I won't be surprised to see him land up going 2,000 meters. Short running Kenilworth used to take a long time to get going, and only got going the last sort of 200 meters of the race. But he was blowing a bit this morning, will only do him good. So those are my entries for the classics. So I'm happy the way things are going with him. Well, you know, I'm hoping I'm going for my 7th classic, Cape Guineas. Cape Guineas to me has always been a terrific Guineas and probably the best Guineas in the country. And I've trained a lot of good 3-year-olds. I've been very fortunate to train a lot of good 3-year-olds, and have just peaked at the right time. And hopefully these also that I've got entered. But last year we won it with Russian Rock, Ian Longmore and Vaughan Marshall, and you know, and Bryn Wrestle. And it also came into the race at 86. It was in 2 minds, will he get a run or not? And he got a run, and Gr1 rode him, and no one could have ridden him better on the day. And he duly won the Guineas, and he carried on. He ran a great race in the Guineas in Durban, and he got beat by a linebacker right on top of him. I think he ran 4th. He also runs off 119. I've had some very good horses, Revere, champion 3L of the country, you know, and there's, you know, just offhand, I want to mention them all now, and we've had also 1 or 2 disappointments. I remember when Dynasty got beaten in the Guineas. I thought it was impossible for him to get beaten in the Guineas, but that's what happens, horses get beat. So we've had it, you know, my father won it 3 times, so, you know, if that's not, if we win it, I would say the Kannemeyer yards are 10th Guineas, you know, and we're quite proud of that. But I've always enjoyed training these horses, you know, for the classics, because the classics, you know, to me, sorts out the men from the boys. It's the real stuff, it's the real deal. Level weights, yes, you're going to be, you know, the draws are important, but I mean, you know, bad horses don't win the Guineas. And so, yeah, we look forward to race. It's going to be a terrific race. There's some very, very nice horses around in Cape Town and I think across the country, but there's a very strong crop of 3Ls racing in Cape Town. It's going to be terrific racing. I think all the best horses in the country will meet on races like the Queen's Plate, great race. Also, probably that and the Gold Challenge, probably in the Horse Chestnut Stakes, and those weight for age mile races are great. It'll be only the best will meet. We saw a small field of 5 runners last week in the Green Point Stakes, maybe 5 of the best around the country. So, and going into the Met, yes, only the best will meet. I have nominated WATERBERRY Lane to the Met. You know, you know, 3-year-olds have won it before. I want to talk about Horse Chestnut. He was an absolute freaking great horse, but Michael did it again with another horse, a Badgerland horse. I think the good filly of Gainer Rupert's beat last winter's a 3-year-old, Susanna, I think it was, beat me in the Met. So I'm keeping my options open. Obviously, a horse like WATERBERRY Lane, he's out of a Fortwood mare. But the Guineas will tell me. Yeah, they see how he goes in the Guineas. I'm just keeping it open for the owners. But I probably, you know, I've always gone sometimes a softer route and say if they're good enough for the classics, or then I may go into the easy 2,000 metre Derby at Kenilworth, because it's quite an easy 2,000 metre race. But it's all about what happens next Saturday. But there's going to be terrific racing. I must say the course is in great shape. We galloped this morning. Got permission to gallop the classic horses. I very seldom bring horses to Kenilworth to gallop, but we used the course this morning up the straight and around the turn, and Dean's done a wonderful job. It's really in good shape, and yeah, we look forward to a wonderful summer season.